Welcome to another edition of Fentress' Film Session. In this episode, we're going to take a close look at Oregon State linebacker Hamilcar Rashed Jr., who has a chance to become the top linebacking prospect to come out of the state of Oregon in nearly a decade. Rashed was dominant in 2019 as a redshirt junior. He registered 62 tackles. He led the conference and set program records with 22.5 tackles for loss and 14 sacks. Rashed's performance led to the conference's coaches naming him second team All Pac-12. Should he get selected inside of 3 rounds during the 2021 draft, that would make him the highest drafted linebacker out of the state of Oregon since the Ducks' Kiko Alonso went in the second round in 2012. It would also make him the highest drafted linebacker out of Oregon State since Nick Barnett went in the first round in 2003. An NFL scout I spoke to said that right now he sees Rashed as probably a 4th round pick, although he is intrigued by the fact that he has added some weight, bulked up to 245 this year, and believes that he has a chance to play his way into the higher rounds. Now let's take a look at what makes Rashed so special. One trait that makes Rashed such an intriguing edge defender is how relentless he is in pursuit. Here, Hawaii is going to run away from him to the outside, and Rashed is going to track down the ball carrier, and when the ball carrier cuts back against him, it's not a pretty sight. Next, we have Oklahoma State running speed option away from Rashed. He's going to have to run about 2/3 of the width of the field to make this play, and of course, he does. Oregon here is going to run away from Rashed. For whatever reason, no Oregon offensive lineman is going to account for Rashed, and of course, that leads to him limiting the play to a 1-yard gain. Rashed is often very difficult to block. Here, Utah is going to run a trap at him with a pulling guard. They're going to have Rashed seemingly blocked out of the play in a nice little lane for the running back, but no, Rashed is going to turn and spin the other way into position to make a play on the running back. Next, we have UCLA running a counter right at Rashed. The tight end's responsibility is to kick him out. However, watch what Rashed does to the tight end. He just pretty much slaps him aside, basically saying, "Get off me, you can't block me," and then he goes and makes the play for a TFL. Rashed is a big hitter, but he knows when to remain in control. Here, Arizona State is going to run a swing pass to the running back, and Rashed's going to sniff it out right away. However, instead of zeroing in on the back and trying to blast him and risk getting juked, he throttles down perfectly, stutters his feet to gain control, and then pummels the running back. Next, check out how Rashed handles this zone read play by Cal. The quarterback is going to read Rashed. If Rashed keeps his shoulders square, he's going to give to the back. If Rashed comes down the line of scrimmage, he's going to keep. Rashed stares at the quarterback and keeps his shoulders square. This forces the quarterback to give the ball to the back, and then right away, Rashed takes off after the back. He basically baited the quarterback into giving the running back the ball so he could just go make the tackle himself. One thing scouts are going to love about Rashed is his height at 6'4" and ability to get up and bat down passes. Here against Cal, the Golden Bears are going to run that zone read again like they did before, but this time it's going to be a play fake. Rashed has to read it though. He watches to see, is quarterback going to give? Is quarterback going to keep? Nope. He's going to not give, fake it, and now pass, which means Rashed has to pick up on that, freeze, and try and play a passing lane. Cal has 2 short routes to the left side. Quarterback picks the wrong one. He should have gone to the top receiver. He went to the slot receiver. Rashed is standing right there. He jumps, gets a hand on the ball, tips it in the air, and one of his teammates gets an interception. Okay, now let's get to the good stuff, the sacks. Rashed registered sacks in a variety of different ways. He speed rushed, he went up the middle, he bull rushed. He did whatever he needed to do to get to the quarterback. Let's start with this play against Stanford, in which he's going to use his speed to go around the edge to the point where the left tackle is literally going to grab him by the neck, which should have been a holding call, I would think, but it didn't matter because all Rashed did was bend, rip through, get away from the tackle, and make the sack anyway. In the same game against Stanford, they put Rashed inside further so he matched up against a guard. This right guard had no chance against Rashed. He just throws a move at him. The guard's like, oh, where you going? He rips right by him, gets to the quarterback for the relatively easy quarterback sack. Okay, this time against Arizona State, Rashed's going to face a running back. Now, for whatever reason on this play, the right tackle is going to go down inside and double with the guard. This makes no sense, of course. You'd think you'd scout Oregon State and know that maybe your first priority is blocking the leading sack getter in the conference, but now, whatever. The tackle did probably know he had running back help, but let's be real. What kind of help really was it? The back goes at Rashed. He goes a little too low. He does trip him up, but look at the balance, look at the agility, look at how he keeps his feet and then is able to get to the quarterback for yet another sack. On this play against Arizona, Rashed's going to use more of a bull rush. He's going to engage with the tackle, but stay straight up with him and try and push him back until he figures out a way to get by him. And then at the last second, he's going to rip through him to the outside and get to the quarterback. It's a very nice move. He sets up the guy very well and then tracks down the hapless quarterback. We could go on and on about the season Rashed had last season. However, there is one thing he needs to do to impress scouts, at least according to the scout I spoke with. One of the points he made was that most of his production came against relatively weak teams. For example, of his 14 sacks, 10 came against Arizona State, Arizona, Cal, and Cal Poly, 4 teams that the scouts said did not offer very good pass protection. In games against Utah, Oregon, and Washington, 3 of the top teams in the conference, Rashed had 0 sacks, although he did have a couple tackles for loss. Better production against better teams can only elevate Rashed's stock. The bottom line is this cat is very, very good. He's going to have an NFL future, but how he plays in the 6-game season coming up will decide if he's going to go down in history as one of the top linebackers to ever come out of the state of Oregon.